How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Exela. I'm getting a lot of questions saying, Dre, we weren't able to hold up 70 cents. Does it look bearish? Does it look bullish? Where do you see this stock going? So I'm going to share my thoughts in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Exela. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at 68 cents, being down 2.32%. On the low, it tested 66 cents, and then on the high, testing 69 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 15.286 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 28.229 million shares. So we did have well below the average in regards to volume, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 45.51. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So where I left off in my previous video, I wanted to see Exela at least hold up the 70-cent level. Now that it has broken through that and now we close at 68 cents, I wouldn't start being concerned unless we break through 60 cents. I feel if we break through 60 cents, that's where the downtrend could continue. But do keep in mind, we do have earnings coming up on March the 16th. So I do see that we should be able to look forward to a run up and being able to get back above 70 cents. So that's just one thing that I want you guys to take note of. And if we're able to actually break through this 50-day at 75 cents, it could get very interesting because breaking through 75 cents, we already know the next resistance line that we have to see if we can pass is going to be right at 90 cents. Yes, we do have 80 cents being a resistance area, but I feel buying volume can get us easily past that because I know many of you on this channel agree with me. We want to see Exela get to $1 and then see what it could do from there, because I feel once it gets to this $1 level and we have more buying volume coming in, we can look forward to a potential breakout, which will put us at around $1.16, and then we see where we go from there. But like I said before, the worst case scenario, if we break through this 60-cent level, it starts looking very weak, because if we go through 60 cents, we could possibly have a pullback going all the way down to 52 cents. So now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Exela. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at some recent filings here, we have for February 25th, we have Jet SX that purchased 2,619 shares. We also have Simplex Trading LLC that purchased 43,787 shares. And then we also have RS Crum Inc. that purchased 26,038 shares. And we see Virtu Financial LLC that purchased 923,400 shares. So one thing that I want to bring to your attention as well, if we take a look at the graph in regards to institutional ownership, we could see most recently as Exela stock has been pulling back, institutions have been loading up. So again, that is a good sign for anyone who's a long-term investor. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 38.18%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is almost 4 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.4 million, updated 6 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate for the latest, we have 2.18%. And as far as for the max, it was at 28.34%. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, you can see for the close of the 24th, it was at 35.04. And then for the close of the 25th being at 38.18. So one thing that remains clear, XELA does continue to have short squeeze potential, and it's why I always say you want to keep an eye on this play. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for XELA. So we could see here on the inflow, it was at 3.15, and then on the outflow, it was at 2.27. When we take a look at the breakdown, keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. On the large, it was 0.45. On the medium, it was 1.70. And then on the small, it was 1. And then when we take a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0.26. On the medium, it was 1.30. And then on the small, it was 0.71. And when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the past 2 trading days, they've all been inflow days, with February the 25th being at 189.96, so just under 190,000. Taking a look at the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, represent whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 8.27%. Not too surprising. We know there's some traders that are going in and out of this play, and it is a penny stock, so it is going to be coming with a lot of volatility. But one thing that is very clear, though, we do see institutions have been showing some interest in regards to loading up shares. So now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for XELA, when it comes to the price action, yes, we did end up breaking through that 70-cent support, but I wouldn't be concerned unless we fall below 60 cents, because if that ends up being the case, we can come back down to 52 cents. So for the most part, we are still continuing to trade in a very tight channel. So if the markets are looking strong for this coming week, I'm expecting us to get back to the 70-cent range. As far as for that breakout level, we want to see some price action above 91 cents so we can get to $1. But do keep in mind, this is going to be a psychological area. There could be some profit taking and so forth. So that's why we have to have the buying volume coming into the stock to move it up further. But if you are a trader and you're not looking for big time profits, keep an eye on those price levels because it will help you out with your strategy. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we see institutions have been loading up on shares. We also did see this in the order flow. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, this play does continue to have short squeeze potential. And it's part of the reasons why I say you want to keep this on your radar. And especially with the conditions we've been having in the market, we are seeing some very violent moves. And I'm talking about strong moves to the upside or a strong move to the downside. So it does provide an opportunity when you're using those support levels to your advantage. And this is why you do your homework and you do your due diligence before trading in any play. And also make sure you're using the right risk management. The best way to actually maximize your gains inside of the stock market is to minimize your losses and ride your winners. So I want to make sure that is a strategy that you're using for 2022 and beyond, because I really want to see you see success inside of the market. Also keep in mind that XELA does have earnings on March the 16th. So I do see, as far as for the price action, we should be able to get back to the 70-cent range and then make that move to 91 again, and then where you can see where we can go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs for the coming week. We'll talk soon.